Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for October 31st, Halloween. So, as you know, I've been struggling with this little move up here in terms of, having something definite to say about it. I know that it's struggling to the upside. I know there's resistance there, but it's been churning through that resistance. It's at the 61.8% mark there. We've got the 6.8. We also know that it has breached and, climbed over the first hurdle here somewhere. Oh, no, it hasn't on this one. Oh, it must have been from this top here, but okay, now it meets another one here. So yeah, there's plenty of resistance here for all of this, but it is sitting squarely on the 6.8, and that's a positive thing. So the moment that it doesn't sit on that 6.8, then we know that we can be bearish at that point. I'm still looking for another move to the downside here. This move is corrective to the upside. That kind of satisfies it a little bit, but it doesn't count very nicely as an impulse wave. So still probably a WXY here for a larger WXY or something of that nature. But anyway, that's not our real concern at the moment. We know resources need to come down further. So how much that weighs on the market, we'll see. But yeah, it is. This little move here is a bit tricky to count to the upside, but let's just go in and have a look at that. So I've just what I've done here is that I know that it's probably broken a few rules and things, but this is pretty much how the US markets are at this point in time, and it doesn't mean that that's right or wrong either. So if you think of from the low here, the A wave, the B wave 1 and 2, there's an ABC for 2, and then up for 3, 4 and 5. That's pretty much how we're counting the SPY here in the US market. So the A wave, the B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, and going up for 5 here. And we've got about 2 sessions to finish off here, and we'll be in the 50-60% retracement level. The only thing I don't like about this count is wave 2 doesn't really sort of pan out very nicely, nor does wave 1, but the wave 1 doesn't bother me. It's the size of this one here on the futures market that bothers me. So, but anyway, all I can do is go one step by one step. So at one step at a time rather. And yeah, so we were looking for it to pull back to the 38.2%. Now we're counting up here. So we've got about 2 sessions up here to finish off. Now it can go further, we could do that, but if we count these 5 waves here, and then we'll see when after 5 waves it's going to turn anyway. Let's just see what that turn is like, and then we'll take it from that point. So that's what I was sort of thinking here. We've probably got well, this could be counted in a couple of different ways here. We could go 1, 2 here, and 3, 4 and 5 here to the upside. I think that's because that's looking quite impulsive, because I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and just have it finished here, and that's the end of it. But I can see the US have got a couple of sessions to go up. So, but I'll look at it in both ways in a moment. But I just want to point out that this is how we got the US counted as an A and a B and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So this trend line coming through here, where was that? Oh, that was just on those two, right? So so we don't need that, but we know that there's another one sitting right on this top here for that now. Okay, so remember that. So yeah, I mean, the other way to count this probably, probably a bit more correctly would be looking at it on the hourly chart. And I think we were looking at it as a W coming up here, and then a WXY here for the X, WXY here for this, and from this last move here, looking at it as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave up here for this. So yeah, like this little move here, we've got a couple of options here. We could put wave 1 over here and wave 2 coming back here, and then wave 3 to the upside, and wave 4 and wave 5 like that. Or we could put the whole little wave 5 in here and have one more little move to the upside and then fail at that point. But as long as it stays don't need that now, but as long as it, you know, if it comes back below the 6.8, well then we've probably got a top in at that point. Okay, so this would count as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 going up here. So what you'd probably need to do to trade is use the 6.9 here, and you would need to look for some sort of classic trading levels pattern on top of that 6.9 at that point. So I'll put this here. So I'm thinking that even though it's fallen out of bed on the as the futures open, so to speak. Let me just have a look at that. Yeah, so look, it should push up, and it's, you know, it'll always struggle at old highs, and then when it gets above the old highs, then it will want to come back and test them, you know. So that probably, that's not quite there. 665, that's a bit better, isn't it? 6865 is the lower end of group 2 in here, of 880 in here. So 8880 and then 872 in here. I'll just squeeze that in there. So that there, that's the, you know, that's group 2 of 6.9. So if that becomes, if you see the market getting support there, you could trade up to the 6.9 and then get out, and then you would need to look for an ABC pattern to come back. And then I think they were going up for wave 3 at that point. That's what I'm thinking. Because we've got a couple of sessions in the US there to look at this. Our banks are still moving up, you know, and 7,000 is the nice big number to go sort of to trade to. So yeah, banks are still pushing up, but they're a bit toppy kind of thing, but we're going to have a look at those in a moment, which we'll look at now. So what you can sort of, what you want to look for visually are these tops here, and that number would be 6865 to eventually become the support. So you could do a little long trade up here, but then get out and then just wait to see how this plays out as support in that space, you know. And then you can trade up from that point, because I think we've got further to go to the upside, at least a couple of sessions. That's what I'm looking at in US stocks. I can see that US stocks have got further to go up, and it should take at least 2 sessions, but may take longer. I mean, but something like that, you know. CBA, so we're also looking for CBA. This is how we're looking at sort of US banks as well, as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here. So we're quite close to the tops here, but there can be 2 more days to go up into this space for this. So just be careful about being long in banks. And let's go in and have a look at some of the banks. So with Bendigo here, we were looking for 5 waves up off the low, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5 here. But I think that's got more to go up here. I think we need to look at this. We'll probably have to extend that up a little bit. That still got high to go there in this instance. And the NAB, a little bit different here. So yeah, that's probably wave 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. So I reckon it's got a bit more to go to the upside, but nothing sort of special. I mean, like this wave 1 took 3 days, you know. So because the extension's in wave 3 here, so wave 5 and 1 would be much the same. So 2 or 3 days to the upside, you know, to finish off there. Bank of Queensland, that got bent out of shape a little bit, so it's behind the 8 ball a little bit. It still needs to push up, so let's see if it can manage to push up today. If it goes any lower, you know, especially if it overlaps wave 1 here, well then it's finished at that point. But clearly we can see we've got 1, 2, nice strong 3rd wave. The 4th wave here just, you know, it's obviously a little news event or something or other, and it just, you know, dislodged it from its divine pathway, you know. Yeah, still got a bit, so it's still got those further to move to the upside there. BHP here, this is Australian BHP. We're a bit like FMG, this is just the monthly chart. We're looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. We want it to come down further. That's on the monthly chart. So on the weekly chart, a bit rough and ready here, sorry about that. So from the A wave, the B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it was just how this wave 4 played out here. And we're still looking for it to move down on the weekly, but it does give us a bit of a clearer, rough sort of pathway for all of that. And yeah, so here we're looking for wave 3 here, and we're looking for wave 4 over here. So I don't know if to put wave 4 here or we're going to go into some sort of more sideways complicated sort of pattern. But at the end of the day, if we do put wave 4 here, let's just do that for a moment. Can I put that there as, yeah, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could look at that in different ways, so it doesn't really make much sort of difference, but let's just paint that picture and see how it goes today. We did have this as wave 1 with an A and a B and a C for wave 2. We're looking at shorting under this box here, the 61.8%, so I'm just going to remove that now. So you may be short there. We'll see how that plays out. It's down on lower volume, so looking sort of okay at that point. For BHP. RIO's the same sort of pattern as well. Won't go into the bigger picture, but wave 3, 4, and then 1, 2 coming down further into 80. So as mentioned, nice strong volume on that. It'll probably need to retest the 90, and it could come back up and cover that gap and do all those sort of things. So a bit more fluffing around here to do, but the trend should be down on that side of it. FMG, same as BHP, we're looking for it to pull back into this box here. But you know, we don't want to buy in the box, but we will look at it in a lot of detail when we get to the box, and because we need to get confirmation of an impulse wave to the upside. And I wouldn't rely too heavily on these 1s and 2s in here either, on all of that. Just you know, I mean, this could just keep on coming down. I mean, you know, China's in a bad way, and so on and so on. So so don't worry about the count too much, but we still need a clear ABC down here for that. And it was reluctant to come down, but it has you know, it has oh, this is the other count here, but yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. So, but it was reluctantly coming down here, but you can see some things just take time, because you know, it came up and you know, played around here and dropped down, then checked back. So it took a long time to sort of reject that level there, and then sort of, you know, continue on its journey to the, it was a reluctant mover, you know. And on the daily chart here, yeah, so we're looking at it. We can look at it in different ways, so don't worry about it too much. But the main point was looking at is wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C, bit like BHP or whatever. Anyway, that's dropped through there. So this trend to the downside won't be over, but it, you know, it'll try to recover, and there'll be all sorts of things short covering going on and everything. But there should still be more downside for all of this, because this to me here, it just always reminded me of like 1s and 2s and 1s and 2s and 1s and 2s here, and then letting go at that point. So that's where that is at the moment. If you're short here, you can move the stop down. We'll move it down further. I'll just get an intraday count on all of that first. So that's that. Lithium. So with lithium here, this is just an ETF here, but you know, as I've keep on saying, I don't know if we got 5 waves down here, because I can't confirm each trend, because, you know, this could be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, rather than all the way down for 1. So I was looking at, if the 70 ever became the tested support, then we'd have a low in place, but otherwise it can come down further. Okay, so we've watched this move up here. Could we label this as 1, 2, 3, and wave 4 here as some sort of thing, corrective pattern here, and then wave 5 here? Is that possible? And then we have the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave. Well, we'll just have to continue to watch the next episode, really, because I can see that it could be counted corrective. I can see there's a chance it could be counted positive. I can see that we're on 1 tick here, so you know, it does appear that we've got a little 5 waves to the downside here. So let's just see how this corrects back up here, and we'll see if we get some sort of A wave, B wave, and C wave here, and then we can go long above that B wave high if that's the case. You know, we'll just see how that plays out a little bit, but we're getting there with it. We're not missing anything. We're doing all the right things and checking and testing and being patient and all of those sorts of things. But lithium stocks are all individual and they've all got different things going on. So we've been looking at those. So coming down into starting with the US ones here, it looks like we've got a sea of red all across those lithium there, but we could see that from the what's the name, from the ETF. So let me just check on this. I don't have 5 waves up here yet. This move can be corrective. So if we were going to go long here, then I'll leave that there. We need the arrival, the reaction, which we're getting now. We need the first high above the level. We need an ABC correction, and then we can go long above that point. But I can see that this here is not 5 waves completed yet. It can turn into 5 waves, but it will do if it gets this here. But we're not there ready with that. ALB. This move up is not 5 waves either, but it's looking quite good. It's not on super volume or anything. So at this stage, it could be an ABC pattern. It'll be the A wave, the B wave here, and then 1, 2. Let me see that a bit closer. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it would need 2 more highs to get there. But even if it had, even would still need to get, something like this here, right? That's if it was going to go up and we go long at that point. Because otherwise at this point it can move up here and then come down at this point. That's what we need to be careful of. We need to get it right, and we're not there yet with it, but yeah, it's unfolding. LAC is also a US lithium stock as well. Still good shape here as well. We're above the 61.8%, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. See, just still giving me an A and a B and a C really to this point. And this is also a new one as well, thanks to Paul. He told me about this one, and I have to say I really like it a lot. I like it because it's sitting on one of my favorite numbers, number 5 here. So let's just paint the town up a little bit here and put that there. So we've got that $50 here. It wouldn't matter if it was $5. It's still the same thing to me. So I like this because it does appear, I haven't pulled it apart yet, it does appear though that we've got some sort of, that could be part of that. Anyway, we've got some sort of 3-wave correction here. It's not the best looking thing, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for that. And then we've got this move here. So this is pretty much what we're sort of looking for in a market, I mean, when a lot of new traders, they would look at this here and say, oh my God, that's a big correction and I don't want to get involved in that. But you must understand that from corrections, trends are engineered, and all of this from this point here really right over to, well, really to here, this is all the accumulation process here. So we could, Richard Wyckoff's work, you could sort of take that distance here and then stand it on its head. So this will be over $100. So it's great accumulation. So it's such a good basis for the next trend up. It does look like we've got wave 1 in here already. Also too, we can see that it's come up and hit this level here and then got sold off. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the A wave, the B wave and the C wave. Now lithiums are on a bit lower volume and all the rest of it. They're a bit of a new thing. Well, not new, but you know what I mean. Green. They've turned green along the way. So yeah, but I really like this here. So this here, I haven't counted this up here, right? But this here is also corrective. So I can see here that this, well, let's just label this little guy. So what would we label this at? Let's just put it as, let's put it as minute degree at this stage. It could go minor, but that's good enough for the time being. So I haven't pulled this apart yet, but I can clearly see that this is an A wave here, then an A, B, C for the B wave, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So what we've got here now is we've got this first move up here, then we've got the correction, and then we're getting this impulse wave here. So we can see that over the last couple of days it's corrected, but it's corrected on lower volume. That's what the volume is confirming the price action here, because it's moving down and the volume's decreasing, then you know that it's corrective. The question is do we have 5 waves here? It probably looks a bit like a wave 4 with 1 and 2, and I'd have to sort of pull that apart a little bit. But either way, I'd have to say that we're going to be seeing something like this for this. You know, so I won't spend a lot of time onto it today. We'll just go to the hourly chart and just see what we can see here. Sometimes you can see stuff and sometimes you can't, because it's a bit of low volume, and then you get all this sort of stuff which is a bit hard to see. So I don't know if it doesn't got overlap here. I don't really know there so much. I will just have a look at the 5-minute chart on this and just have a bit of a look, see if anything jumps out. I mean, it looks like 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 or something. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll mull it over. But look, basically, if you're looking to hodl, then this is the go, and you don't mind it coming back to 51, 52, 53, because that's what it could do, but it does appear that it's wanting to move up. So I think this is a fantastic hold, from $50 to $100. Along the way there's going to be other levels. So we know that 65 is between, because the next level after 50 is 80, and then this will be 65, so I can bring that up to 80 here. Halfway between 5 and 8 is the medium level here. So still not used to that word clone. 65, Pete, pull yourself together, somewhere in there. So yeah, this getting support on here will give you an opportunity to add. So there we go. I would be. I think that's a fantastic setup here. But you just need to be patient. So if you make money out of that, you owe Paul a carton of beer or bottle of wine. So ACDC over to Australia. So once again, we don't have a clear impulse wave up here, but we do have this impulse wave here. So it may come back to this point and then push up. If it climbs on top of the 90, fine. If it does pull, we've got a very small position here. If it does pull back lower as an A and a B and a C wave, then we'll also pick up some down here. But if it does come down, we don't have to buy it on the way down. We'll buy it on the way up. Okay. CXO here. Once again, I won't go into it. We'll buy that above the 150. That will be good. LTR here. We're going to get a classic trading levels pattern at the $2 mark here. But you could buy these pullbacks. It probably pull back down today. It's got increased volume to the downside. So, I mean, just building up positions for the longer term here, I think is fine. So this is doing its dance across the $5 mark here, so that's all good. Like I said, buying back at 450 or something would be good, but otherwise just watch it for a little while. I mean, it's still, to me, this is, this whole trend here, does this little correction rebalance that? Don't think so. I think there's more time here to be had here, really, but anyway, we'll keep an eye on it. AKE here, okay, so that's pulling back as a B wave, so we counted 5 little waves in here, so that's pulling back, so that's all good. So we don't buy it in the box, we wait for it to finish off and then show us some evidence that it's moving to the upside at that point, So yeah, I'm not really sure about this count, but maybe I do need to tie that all in together there a bit better. I'll give that some thought. Anyway, that's that's the lithium side of things, and the uranium here. So it looks all sort of positive. I could, as I mentioned before, it's possible to count this up as 1 and 2 as an ABC pattern here, but we could be in a larger correctional pattern. All I was going to do was just wait and see if we can get some more support on this level here. That's the main thing. So we'll just continue to wait for that, but coming down as an A and a B and a C, but we could be in some larger correctional sort of thing as well. But the more that we find support here, the better off we're going to be with this. So yeah, just sort of show that in there. US spot gold. So as you know, we were looking for wave 4 up here with wave 1 down here, then an A and a B and a C wave. We looked at the possibility of having a little 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in here. I wasn't that happy with it, but I just left those there, and I had wave 5 over here looking at this as possible wave 4 because it was big and ugly. But really I think we need to bring this in over here for this and call this a day here at this point. So we should see this edge lower now. The 1650 is a medium level and carries a fair bit of weight, so it could test that again. But I think that I mean, it gets more complicated. You know, we could put the B wave over here and the C wave up here as well. That's also doable at this stage because it does make a nice ABC, and it's back at the 50-60% retracement level here roughly. So we'll need to see how this wants to play out here as this, but this would be 5 waves down here, so anything further below this and it won't be a B wave, you know, in fact it will just, if this moves up here to retest that, then you can look to short under here, put it that way. Alrighty, so that leaves Newcrest mining in this state. So I still think there's more downside to this. I just don't know how it's really going to play out. So it's not a big interest to me, or shouldn't be an interest to anybody at this point. Yeah. So yeah, in one way or another, whichever way I look at it, there's still more downside. I just don't know the right way to count the correction or pattern in here. I can see 2 of them and I don't know which one is correct. But if this was going to push up here, we've got wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it doesn't really need to come up as far as I've drawn it up there. It could do, but this would be the first little 5 waves that we would sort of look at and go, well, okay, that could be it at that point, or simply that could be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 just for wave 1, and then pull back for 2 and 3, 4, 5 and push up, you know, because that is the wave 4 1 lesser degree over here. So I should leave that up there, and yeah, let's just see. So this move here can just be wave 1, well, not to there, but a little bit higher actually, and wave 2 and 3. So that could be the case, coming up into that there. So there's a few things going on. We'll see if US spot gold moves down, well then we're all good to go at this point for the lower ground. Okay, US dollar, I've got wave A here. I've moved wave B from here to here because my wave 4 here is coming up to the 38.2%. So I couldn't really fit this in properly, but this is the best fit now. Is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave. It all sort of just a little bit better of fit. So forcing that over there as wave 1, not that happy about it, but yeah. So we've either got wave 3 here and wave 4 over here, and then we'll go up from that point. So it's something we're working on, or we've got a top in play and we've got wave 1 here and 2 here, and we're going to be working to the downside. If this wave 4 is not in place here and we're going to come further to the downside, that means we've probably got a low in for the indices, and that means we'd have a low in for the Australian dollar as well. But as far as we're going at the moment, it's all just step at a time. So wave A here and with 5 waves, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and going up for wave 5 here. It's overlapping a little bit here. It's a bit dodgy, so it's going to make the pound, euro, and Aussie a little bit messy as well for its wave 4. But we should see one more little move up there. So we could probably look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1. Little ABC back again for 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish off up there. Okay, we'll just see how that plays out at that point. And we'll see if that rolls over and gives us 5 waves down here. Even when we get 5 waves down here, we still need to wait and see what we get over this side before we can call that low in place here. Yeah, but this will be pivotal. Whatever happens after this will be pivotal to many other markets So if the US dollar continues to, move down at that point, it's going to give support to the, to businesses, Okay, so that's that. So that leaves the Australian dollar. We were looking at it as the A wave, an ABC for the B wave, and then up for wave 1 and back for 2, and then looking up for 3 here. But then I had wave 3 and wave 5 here. I could put that in here at that point, but then I had that here. But now I've got to put that over here, and so I suppose I've got to do that, and look at this as the A wave, the B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down here. So maybe a little bit more of a scuffle down the bottom here, and even we do have an overlap there, and then we'll have that move to the upside. And this move up here will also be in line with the ASX and the S&P and all of that sort of stuff. So it could come down a little bit further, but we're pushing up there if you wanted to trade that up there. So a nice sort of support above these previous highs here as a tested support on top of those previous highs would give you a little long trade up into the 65 area at that point. And I was thinking that we've got a top in for a top in for the US 10-year treasuries. So we may have this top in here for this as well. So I'm just going to remove that and bring that down onto here for that, and give that a wave 3. I should drop that down here, and then a wave 4. It'll be interesting to see what the Feds say next about things. If they they'll probably, I mean, it looks like from looking at this is they'll do a 50 basis points and not 75. We'll see. Radio, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.